And everything that we do doesn't mean you should do it. For example, I decided not to quit caffeine. I decided I'm not...
Devil! Devil! Welcome back to the Harley Malarkey Show!
I don't know why you haven't been doing that all along.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, that's great.
She's letting me do the intro right now. Now, take it away.
And are you still caffeine-free?
You know, I am.
Yeah?
I am. I'm living la vida loca. Like the great Ricky Martin said, I am living la vida loca. It is like my eyes have opened. And I know a lot of you are like, this Malarkey, he's just like, whatever. No alcohol, no caffeine. What's next? What's next? Probably sugar, to be honest. I'm preaching on this one.
Yeah.
I'm preaching, right? Because you know what it is? Put this in your cup of coffee and stir it around a little bit. I think you're all a bunch of sheep. I think you coffee drinkers are a bunch of sheep.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Start our podcast by offending them.
All ya. Because you're just doing what you are programmed to do.
Well, it feels
You're
good.
living the system, right? It takes a wolf to stand up and look at it and go, bullshit, bullshit. And the fact, Brother James is doing it, I'm doing it. Everyone I've talked to now, I'm like, I fucking love coffee. I don't want to get rid of the coffee in my life. I want to get rid of the fucking imbalance. And I put it this way to some people recently. It's like, aren't we all trying to get more zen, more balance, more, better relationships, better communication, less anxiety, right? And feel inside our body. Caffeine is 100% opposite of all of those things. It wants you to be in balance, out of control, like this. It's opposite of what we're all trying for. The self-help, the natural wellness, all that stuff that everybody really, really wants. That's not caffeine's goal. So don't be a sheep, be a wolf and see through that shit.
Well, I did bring you here today because we lost a follower.
Oh, well, now there's two. Okay, so when I say all you out there, I'll be like, you, Betty Sue. Thanks for hanging in there with us.
She said, I tried to hang on as long as I could, but I'm Serbian and I've been drinking coffee since I was 2, and I'm sick of you preaching about all your demons and acting like they're everybody else's
Hallelujah.
demons.
Hallelujah.
I'm gone. So she announced that she was unfollowing us because you're preaching about caffeine, which I will just add in another perspective is that Brian has a highly addictive personality. Brian was drinking 3 to 4 cups a day of coffee on an empty stomach. Not everybody's like that. Not everybody needs to quit caffeine, but a lot of people are like that. And so he's inviting the people that are like that to make that decision for themselves. This can come off as preachy because that's kind of who we are, but we don't give a fuck what you do. We're just sharing ideas.
What do you mean? Like, we don't give a fuck what you do? Like, you can fucking leave us, you Serbian princess who hated us, or you don't give a fuck what you do. You can drink all the coffee you want.
Yeah.
We're just pushing buttons.
Yeah.
We're just asking you to look inside, because if you don't look at life with new eyes and you just follow into the same old systems, that's just repeated fucking bad patterns over and over again. Question what you eat, what you wear, what you drink, who you talk to, what you read, what you listen to, what your religious beliefs are. Question everything just so you know better who you are and what is going on.
And everything that we do doesn't mean you should do it. For example, I decided not to quit caffeine. I decided I'm not...
Devil! 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 I told you!
I don't abuse it. I did decide I'm not ever drinking caffeine on empty stomachs, and I always eat breakfast, and I've put my matcha dose in half. But for me, it wasn't a drawback. I don't get energy crashes. I'm balanced throughout the day. For me, it wasn't a huge addiction. So for me, it's fine.
Okay. Maybe you're not all sheep. Okay. But the people who were like me, who are just programmed to 5 o'clock, you start drinking. You wake up in the morning, you start drinking coffee. It's just those programmed
pattern
things.
Interruption. Question what you're doing and if it's working.
Pattern interruption. Fucking like that.
Yeah.
Get the tattoo ink.
I did realize too, I think I'm a very empathetic person and I'm an active listener and I want people to feel like I'm always listening to them. So I realize I say yeah a lot to affirm to somebody what they're saying, that I'm listening. But in a podcast context, it's pretty annoying when I hear myself say yeah in all these reels and on the podcast. So I'm listening to you. I might nod at you more. I'm going to try to stop saying yeah so much.
That's a good pattern
interruption also.
And yas.
Yeah.
And yas.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. I have one too, dude.
It
Dude.
drives me nuts. He calls me dude all the time.
Dude. Yeah, dude.
So we're here today to talk about a journal entry that you wrote. Are we still talking about the best thing we ate?
Oh, yeah, let's talk about something good we've eaten. Okay, so that was just kind of a recap on the previous episode, which did get people fired up a little bit. I mean, we lost a listener.
We did.
That's like running like 20% of the viewership right now. Speaking of that,
Yeah.
I did ask myself the other day, like, I was so scared the first podcast we put out, and I've been scared about several podcasts we put out since.
Me too.
But the idea is now it makes us more comfortable. Even though we don't have a huge viewership, we have a loyal viewership.
We do, and it's growing slowly.
Yes, which is very exciting. And the amount of people who have talked to us on the street and said, I love something you said here, I said there, that's all that matters. We won.
Well, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, I hope one day our podcast is bigger just because I love doing it. But even if it's not, this whole experience has been so invaluable to me. I think it's been so invaluable to our relationship. And you've really started coming into your own. You've kind of released this old version of yourself, and you're really interested in peeling back the layers and becoming the best version of yourself, which is the greatest thing in the world. And I think this podcast is part of the reason why, because you come here every week, you talk about it, you have to reflect on the changes that you're making in your life. And I'm just so proud of the person that you've become. And I think
Stop it.
you've changed a lot in a positive way. And that is priceless.
That's about exactly where I was going with this, is even if you don't all want to fucking listen, I don't know if I want to stop this, because this is a really good thing for us and for us to stimulate conversations. Because when we see something, hear something or something, and we're out and about, we're like, podcast, that's a podcast. And then we talk about it. And we're like, oh my God, well, I'll say this and we'll kind of like this. That's the direction. And you make fun of me. And I'm like, haha. It really has. And, upon when I stopped drinking and when we gave our relationship the 2.0 version of it, I thought I was great. But now it is like all of a sudden I've had a couple really big things, the Cowboys Don't Cry episode. And I've had a lot of really kind of come to terms with my divorce, how it's affected my children. But to have broken my heart open and exposed it, that has not been exposed since I was like 5 years old. At first, the most painful, scary thing in the world. But now I'm like a motherfucking crusader. Now you may have released, cause now I got addictions. And now I'm like, oh, you want to heal? Oh, we're going to heal now. And I might move a little too fast at some of that healing for some of the people in the crew. But like I said, I think the Crusaders, I'm not exactly sure on my history on the Crusaders, but they had a message. But I think they stole a lot of treasures and land and real estate and people and stuff like that. So I don't necessarily want to be that crusader.
It's new territory for him. I said, someday you'll be a wise sage like me, but right now you're a new
slash and burn.
You're a new soul. And he's like, I'm healing. I want everybody to heal at the rate I'm healing. And I'm like, well, that's not really what you can expect of other people.
I don't necessarily know if I'm trying to get other people to heal at the rate but I'm having impatience for people I feel are on this planet and they have given nothing to this planet and they are taking everything from this planet. And I have very little patience with those people.
Someday you'll learn to see them with a little bit less judgment, but
yeah, not today.
No, not today. I think the best thing that I ate this week was gamari. I don't know exactly what's in it. I think it's like pork and maybe a little shrimp fried in nori and then wrapped in a shiso leaf with salmon roe on top.
That was from Tara Monson.
Anime. I think we've talked about it before, but it really hit the
anime. I don't know who owns that restaurant, what's going on down there, but they are doing some things right.
They sure are.
And they are doing some that Tara Monson is a national treasure.
She is.
Best thing I ate, second time I've eaten it. I was back in New York for the last couple of days doing some fun stuff, and there's a little restaurant right near where I was at called Hawksmoor. It appears to be a very old steakhouse, but I do believe it's only about 6-7 years old. But this dish, I actually stole this dish about 2 years ago, year and a half ago for Hawkeye and the Huckleberry Lounge. We don't do veal chops up there. We like to raise our beef a little longer, but it was in New York at Hawksmoor, a veal chop with tartar sauce and fried oysters. And I ordered it a year and a half ago whenever I was up there last.
Has that been on the menu at Huck and Huck?
Oh.
With fried oysters?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
He told the chef he was stealing it.
Oh, yes. A year and a half ago there, I ate tartar sauce on a steak, and I was like, that's brilliant. I don't know why. It's so simple. It's so easy. Fried oyster steak, surf and turf, whole different thing. Brilliant. Called Carlos. This is on the menu. We got to have it. And then I went back, and I was like, I just have to have it again as an ode. But then the chef sent me out these Reuben Gruyere croquettes with the Thousand Island dressing and stuff like that. Very pedestrian, but so good. Something you'd probably get at a sports bar, but this was done very high end and it was very playful. And I was like, oh my gosh. I asked the server, I was like, what's in that dish? And he goes, I really don't know. He goes, would you like me to ask? And I was like, yeah. And then the chef came out, and then he lived in San Diego, and I guess I'd met him back in the past, and we got along quite well. I said, well, last time I was here, I stole the idea of your tartar sauce and fried oysters, and today I want to steal the ideas of this dish. And he was like, well, let's talk it out. Because in the culinary industry, plagiarism is a form of flattery.
It is, especially when you're on different coasts.
Yeah, it's just perfect. It's perfect.
So it was, when you're on your caffeine-free high and you finally started journaling again, and you came in one morning and you woke me up and you said, just so you know, I journaled this morning and I've decided that I'm going to live to 100. So when you're in your 70s.
How old?
100.
What? He said 100?
100.
No.
Yeah.
What?
100.
Shut up.
So when you're in your 70s, you don't get to fuck some hot 50-year-olds. I was like, oh, fuck. I was kind of looking forward to that. There's this thing. I don't know how true it is, but they say that you have 3 great loves in your life. And so I was driving with...
You got another one after me?
Well, apparently not. Apparently not.
Fuck. Woo!
Brian and I were driving, and I told him this theory, and
this was years ago. This was like months ago.
Yeah, over a year ago. And
real quick, I think she said, when you die, I'm gonna get some young ass.
I did.
Young dick.
Yeah, because I said, okay, your first love we think was this woman, Malin.
We love Malin.
Yeah.
Yes, we definitely love Malin.
And then obviously your second love was the mother of your children.
Yes.
And then I am your third great love.
Yeah.
And I will see you to the end of your days. Me, my first great love was my ex-boyfriend. My second great love is you. And I was expecting my third great love.
Bitch. Like, I fucking like throwing dirt on my dead body grave before I'm even dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
I'm fine with it. I'm happy to have 2 great loves if you can live to 100. I was like briefly like, oh, well, I was looking forward to a little bit of new dick in 40 years. But but if I get to keep the love of my life around until I'm how old?
18 years younger.
Yeah, in my 80s.
Yeah.
I'm
82
down for that.
So yeah, the reality is I'm feeling so good and healthy. My clarity is better than ever. I've given up these big vices in life. I'm starting this exercise program soon because recently just had a little surgery. I'm really excited. Even though life is stressful and I have challenges and we all have obstacles to overcome, I'm like, fuck it. I'm in. I'm going to go for this thing. And I want to live to be 100 years old. My mom's almost 80.
Yeah, she's 78 and she's
bitch is on fire.
She is on fire.
There's nothing slowing her down.
She's more on top of it than a lot of 50-year-olds.
I feel better. I look good. And I see so many people in my age bracket that are like, just kind of starting to wind it down. I'm like, what the fuck are you winding down? I'm like winding up. You know, most people don't even get the best successes of their lives until after 50. You know, you read about people who make big fortunes and stuff like that. It's after 50 for the most part. So I'm like, I'm going to have the best time ever. And I'm going to enjoy life. I'm going to learn to calm down. But then I remembered when Danielle said, when you fucking die, I'm going to go get some young dick. Because you probably have a nice chunk of cash that we've made together. You'll be living large, probably sell the family house and be like, go get yourself, nice little pad at the beach and stuff like that. And she's always had a thing for lifeguards. I'm like, probably gonna be banging, not like the cool young lifeguards, unless she's paying for that shit, which she could do. Right? But more the David Hasselhoff kind of lifeguard. Like, like the guy that's in charge. I mean, you're going to be fucking old, okay? Let's just right now you can bang any lifeguard you want, but in the future you're going to have to like settle for the career lifeguarder, That's a different type of lifeguard. I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh my God, if I live to be 100, she's like 82, 83. She ain't, not saying that she's not going to be beautiful, but I mean, like, you'll be lucky to get some 50-year-old dick. You know?
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Like if I fucked up, I mean, think about that. I fucked down. Oh my God, this is hilarious episode. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Yeah, so just to make sure that you're not getting any good booty calls, I'm gonna live until you've aged out.
Whatever it takes, you know, whatever it takes. I've been trying to get Brian to lift weights for our whole relationship because I said, you know, as you get older, you lose muscle mass. And I'm like, you have a young, hot girlfriend. You better fucking keep up with this shit. And he's like, yeah, I just like to run. Like he's a little cardio queen. He doesn't believe, he thinks he's going to get bulky if he starts lifting weights. I'm like,
I'm like,
is this the 1990s? Like, that's not true. So
for me, it is. For me, it is the 90s, the best years ever. I mean, we had grunge music. We had fucking good shit going on in the 90s, girl. You were born.
I was born, 1990. Anyways, I'm thrilled. I can't wait to start lifting weights with Brian, getting in great shape together. I mean, I'm already in great shape, but bringing him along for the ride.
He's real fucking cool, in case you guys didn't hear that. Translation, she's fucking badass already.
Well, I work out all the time.
But it's so funny when you see how people have differently aged. You like look back at the Golden Girls. The Golden Girls were like 50 or 60 years old.
Which is crazy.
Crazy. My mom is almost 80. And she looks like she's probably 60 at best.
She looks like she could be in the Golden Girls. And the Golden Girls...
No, she looks like she kicked the Golden Girls' asses. Are you kidding? Maybe we'll punch you for saying that right there. The Golden Girls had big white hair, and they're all buttoned up. And
I'm too young for the Golden Girls, so...
Okay, no, maybe...
But the 50-year-olds I know now are fucking hot, and they're fucking 26-year-olds, so...
I can go to 26.
No. I was talking about women.
Oh.
I was talking about women.
I was thinking, like, you're like you, because essentially you've almost aged out for me right now.
No.
Yeah, her birthday. I was like, oh my God, really?
He doesn't
kind of like Leonardo DiCaprio thing here. I'm like, you might be too old for me now.
He doesn't remember how old I am at the time. He's like, how old are you again? He asked me that like once a week.
34.
Okay.
33.
Well, Leonardo DiCaprio is not something to aspire to. I don't know if you've heard these rumors, but I've heard them.
Okay, just a sec. We can agree to disagree on this one. I mean, because brilliant acting career, has hung out, dated, loved, sex, whatever, thousands upon thousands of strikingly beautiful women.
That sounds soulless. You know, to quote my favorite character from White Lotus, he might have no soul. But exemplified by this. Supposedly, when he has sex with women, I don't know if this is women he's in a relationship with.
We actually tried.
No, you can Google it. No, we didn't. And it's been verified supposedly by multiple sources. But when he has sex with women, he puts on his headphones and listens to music the whole time.
EDM.
Lays on his back. Yeah, I think it is EDM. And he smokes his vape. And he just lets whatever girl he's fucking just bounce up and down on him while he has his headphones in and smokes his vape.
I mean, it's not like he's having a connection there.
Exactly.
Oh, Leo. I don't know. We just wish the best for Leo. We've been entertained by his movies for years and years and years.
I think the underlying message here is that you want to focus on your health span. You want to focus on doing things that are going to not only help you live longer, but live healthier. Because what's the point of living to 100 years old if you can't have sex with me?
Fuck no. That's what I'm saying. See, I'm going to be fucking crushing it. 100 just is like, let's think about cashing in right here. It's going to get worse. Okay? Because, yes, that's what it is. Nobody wants to live if you don't have something to live for.
Yeah, and right? if you have memory problems, if you get Alzheimer's or dementia, like you'd rather be dead.
Yeah. I don't know if we can say that.
No, you can say it. I mean, I think people who go through that with their family members, not at the beginning stages, but at the end stages, it would be so much better if those people could compassionately be set free to the other side.
Well, I think you're going to get some comments on that one.
I don't think so. I mean, if you disagree with me, and you can disagree with me.
I mean, honestly,
but
if that happens,
I heard
that happens to me. We can just be walking on Sunset Cliffs,
and I'll just say you slipped.
Oh,
I was listening to the Skinny Confidential podcast, and Michael said that his grandma, I think, retired when she was 70, and shortly thereafter she got dementia. And she lived another 20 years. And he said it was horrible. Like, so you don't want your body to go on without your mind, and you don't want your mind to go on without your body.
But those things, a lot of those things are no matter how much you work out, no matter what you're doing, no matter how happy you are.
A lot of those things can be prevented.
Oh, really?
Yes. Alzheimer's is called, I think, like diabetes 3 or something like that. I forget. I'm messing up the name. But in research, they've learned that Alzheimer's is like a metabolic disorder. Of course, there's genetic factors at play, but there's a lot that you can do to prevent these things from happening. And there's science around it. Even if you have the genes that make you more likely to be predisposed, there are so many things that you can do in your diet and lifestyle to not end up in that position. So no, we have a lot more control over our biology than the government would want us to believe, than big pharma would want us to believe. There are so many things that we can do to preserve our health span, which is your lifespan, and the amount of time that you feel good in that lifespan is a health span.
Yes. This made me think. I fell off there for a minute. Yes, you could meet challenges of things that could happen to your health along the way. Ideally, you try to beat those challenges, but just having that foundation,
I just want to go back and say, if you have one of these diseases, if you have cancer, if you have a family member with Alzheimer's, in no way am I saying